Uh, yeah, it's been a bit of a while, hasn't it, folks? Yeah, I'm guessing like last week they decided to go and delay Sentai and Kamen Rider and for like golf or something like that. It gets around that time. But yeah, anyways, after many delays, it's finally time for us to take on Kamen Rider Zi-O episode 40 and Ryusoulger episode 14. Alright, here we are, the long-awaited debut of Zi-O's ultimate form, Grand Zi-O, and it sucks. What else is new? All right, build up time. I mean, yeah, sure. Even though it's teased in the last episode that Sogo finally got the Grand Zi-O ride watch, Momotaro's was like, "Oh yeah, you know what? No, screw that. Yeah, Deno, Yuto and Deneb just showed up out of nowhere and said, "Yeah, no, don't give that to him. He's an asshole." And he's like, "Oh, okay," and then just poof, the Grand Zi-O ride watch just disappeared until Sogo gets the Deno ride watch back from Momotaro's. Yeah, but of course we all know that he's going to get that thanks to Waz's spoiler last time. But leading up to that, we finally get the motivation as to why another Deno is targeting this guy. Yeah, he was like we said before, he was the boyfriend of his sister, and apparently the reason why Takuya hates him so much is because, well, yeah, she was basically, she was deathly ill and, well, was at a hospital and died on February, no, wait, it was May 17th, 2017. And yeah, basically, the doctors basically told the brother that, basically told, Yukihito, I think his name was. Anyways, yeah, the doctors told the boyfriend that she's basically, she's not gonna that she wasn't gonna pull through, and yeah, it's never stated what she was sick from. It's just plot convenience-itis, I guess. One of the most deadly cases of all. Please donate to a plot convenience-itis charity if you can. Anyways, yeah, she knew that she was going to die, and well, she basically asked him to, well, take her to their favorite lookout spot to basically get that, basically see it one last time before she died. And of course, he didn't tell Takuya. Of course, the boyfriend, being an idiot, didn't tell Takuya this because he figured that he wouldn't listen to him anyway, and figured that he just needed someone to hate or some stupid rationale like that. Look, dude, he probably would have it probably would have, if you told him why why you did what you did, he wouldn't hate you. He probably would have accepted it and moved on. But instead, you've allowed this unresolved grief to fester in him, and now he's acting out on it as another Deno. You basically caused all this, you completely selfish idiot. Ugh. But yeah, no. Apparently, we're trying to frame it that he was basically trying to satiate some martyr complex or something like that, giving Takuya someone to hate or. But yeah, no, that's not healthy. That's not a good way for him to accept her grief and pass on, move on from it. Again, now he's just fixated on. Yeah, if this was left unchecked and left to fester, he most likely would have killed you. Basically killed you as the guy he sees as responsible for letting his sister die. And none of the doctors decided to go and tell Takuya this, even though he's her sister, he's her brother. Sorry about that. Blech. Again, this is stupid and contrived and does not make any sense. And again, these are bad idiot writers. Bad, bad, bad. Oh yes, and speaking of Takuya, he, as another Deno, managed to hijack the Denliner with the help of the Bully Majin. And well, basically their goal is to go back to 2017 and basically just, well, prevent his sister Sayuri from being taken out of the hospital. But that was caused a little bit basically expedited by another Deno and the Bully Majin showing up to go and wreak havoc. And, well, not to mention another Deno just beat the ever-loving tar out of his past self, basically saying that, I'm going to be the one to protect my sister, me! And yeah, so what was he going to do? Just stand in front of her hospital room and just stand there and try and kill the boyfriend, Yukihiro? Oh, yeah, that's the guy's, the boyfriend's name that he hates, yeah. Yeah. So he was just going to stand there and just let herself die of like terror at the sight of this another Den-O monster. Again, this is more than a little bit stupid. So yeah, oh yeah. To go and assist another Den-O in this whole caper, the Bully Majin, using the Deadliner, basically goes and recruits an army of other Bully Majin, basically like past selves of him or something like that. But the Bully Majin are basically just the mass-produced grunts of the Imajin faction, so whatever. So yeah, long story. Yeah, again, it's mostly just kind of stupid. Sogo gets location, manages to intercept another Den-O in his Bully Majin army, and basically hold them off until Yuto's just out of nowhere just says, "Yeah, okay, you're not as big an asshole as I thought you are." Bulbataro's just give him the right watch. It was like, yeah, it's not that I trust you, I just acknowledge you. You still think that he's going to be the guy? You still think that he's going to become the Demon King, and yet you're giving him the final thing that he needs to complete his his chance to gain ultimate power. I just had to say that, I guess. Anyways, with all that nonsense out of the way, and after some possessions for Momotaro's later, Sogo finally gets the Den-O Ride Watch, and now that he has all 20, and after a admittedly very impressive and awe-inspiring transformation, we finally get the debut of Grand Zi-O, and he sucks. Yeah, no, he completely sucks. Yeah, I thought it was just, based on what happened last episode, I thought all his powers were going to be limited to was just him, okay, he does summon the riders using their very first finishing moves, but he also can summon their weapons too, like as we see with Kuga's Titan form sword and Build's hazard gun thingy. So he doesn't even have his own power, he just summons the powers of all the previous riders to go and do the job for him. He sucks. Zi-O 2 was a much better final form, in my opinion. He had the power of precognition. That's a unique power unique to Zi-O. Whereas Grand Zi-O, he just literally steals. He doesn't even do anything himself. He just slaps an icon of a rider on his armor. They show up and do their first finishing move, which, again, as I reiterated from last time, makes absolutely no sense, since this is them doing their very first finishing move, and yet they're doing massive damage to an end series monster. Power consistencies? What's that? I don't know. Yeah, so he can summon multiple finishers at one. He can also summon riders' finishing moves by tapping multiple icons on there, which is basically just a giant cluster that he uses to finish off another Den-O. Yeah, again, Grand Zi-O, it sucks. It just flat out sucks. To me, what makes a good writer form is, well, one, isn't just the aesthetics. One, it's the unique power that it has, and second, well, basically, a final form is in my opinion, it's supposed to be the culmination of the hero's journey. The final personification of their absolute power. And Zi-O's power is just nothing but stealing from the previous writers, including Decade. That was why we hated Decade Complete Form so much. All it did was just summon some of the final forms of the riders from Kuga through Kiva and he just basically copied their finishing poses, and just both of them attacked at once. Yeah, Zi-O's is even worse. He doesn't even have to do anything. He just has to slap an icon, and then bam, there's the finisher. He hasn't earned these powers of most. And again, if Zi-O is going to end the way I think it is, this form isn't even going to last anyway, since the power to become Grand Zi-O, it depends on him having all the previous 19 ride watches. Which, if we want future crossovers, they can't exist. Again, it's like with the Ranger keys in Gokaiger. Those are the personifications of those powers. So unless we want future crossovers, then yeah, Grand Zi-O is going to have to go. So yeah, just wasting the budget on a form that we know is not going to exist past this series. So yeah, unless Shirakura decides to go pull something else out of his ass, which he would most likely do. But yeah, Grand Zi-O, it sucks. It just flat out sucks. But apparently that's enough to go and gain gain the recognition of Oma Zi-O, because at the end of the episode, we see Grand Zi-O face to face with Oma Zi-O, and apparently we're finally gonna have ourselves a bit of a smack. We got ourselves our round two with this guy. So yeah, no, even yeah, Yuto was absolutely right. Sogo is going to become Oma Zi-O. He's going to become the Demon King. He's going to wreak absolute shit on the world. And despite Sogo's proclamations, he is apparently destined to become evil. Unless there's something else going on here. But I'm guessing no. Even though he says otherwise, he's going to be the villain because, again, according to Shirakura, the heroes eventually become the villains of their own story. And apparently there's something else going on next episode where there's another Zi-O 2. Not sure if it's Hiryu who's become another Zi-O again and has gotten even stronger. And we still don't know what's going to happen with another drive in another decade. Those are two another riders that are left out of the equation. And if the Time Jackers were trying to stop Sogo from becoming Oma Zi-O, then congratulations, you have failed with flying colors. What a absolutely useless antagonist faction. And speaking of useless, we have ourselves Ryusoulger episode 14, where we got introduced to Ryusoul Gold and another general. Hang on. Yeah, let's see. Ryusoul Gold, Camalilo, Canalio, I think that's what it's pronounced. Yep. Ryusoul Gold, Canalio, and the new Druidon general, let's see, Cachilius. Cachilius, yes. Cachilius pops into Waizaru and Creon's little makeshift hideout, and he immediately he is not a friendly guy. I mean, mostly he's just a pompous ass who just, I don't see why I have to answer any of your questions anyway. Basically he's just going around in circles with him. You try and get anything out of him, and he's just why should I have to do this? Why should I? Why? Basically, his entire dialogue is a Button and Mindy's cartoon. Is a Buttons and Mindy cartoon. Okay, why are you here? Tell me why you're here. Why? Why are you helping these why are you helping to create the Minosaurs? Why? Can you say anything else? Why? I'm just gonna fight you now. Okay, pretty lady, I love you. Bye bye. And Waizaru knows when he knows he's gonna get a headache with dealing with this guy, so he just bolts. He's most likely going to come back later once this guy's dealt with, or some big once the real leader of the Druidon shows up, or whatever. Something I know Waizaru is going to be back, so we're stuck with this guy. Stuck with Cachilius, and Creon is not happy since basically he just works Creon into the dirt. Basically the Druidon faction has basically become a hell company. And Creon's basically just being worked to the complete bone and is just nothing more than a zombie at this point. And the Minosaur of the episode does it well. Cachilius actually has Creon create a Minosaur from tying into Ryusoul Gold, Cameleo, who just comes completely out of nowhere. This guy. He's what the show describes as a marriage hunter, whereas it translates to me as basically just a more restrained Glenn Quagmire. Basically, his entire shtick is that he's overly flowery, he's poetic, he's refined, he's nuanced, he's sophisticated, and he desperately wants to find a wife. Which, as a guy who's looking for a girlfriend himself, I can't blame him for that, but it's, 1 minute he's dumped by one girl, and then he immediately just goes straight to the next girl. The girl in question, who actually already has a boyfriend, and yet she was trying to two-time him with Cameleo, who she just met. So everyone in this so yeah, they're just all horrible. And yeah, her boyfriend was the one who birthed the Minosaur. Apparently, his deal is that he's trying to get into the entertainment industry, and he's basically latching onto this girl like a leech, and basically just buying all these high-end, brand name items, like all these fancy suits and all this jewelry and stuff to try and make it showy in the entertainment industry. Or at first when I read the subtitles, I thought he was like a host or something like that. One of those sleazy guys that tries to con tries to con women into working for his club. But and yeah, this obsession with work, and yeah, he's apparently, from what I can tell, he's in some serious debts, since when the girlfriend goes and answers the door, she says something to the lines of, I'll get you the money. Because again, all those brand name items that, apparently they're in massive amounts of debt, and they are just horrible for each other. And yet, Cameleo is such a narrow-minded idiot that he only thinks of their initial happiness, and he figures that he'll defeat the Minosaur, if anything, just to make sure she's happy, and that's not going to solve their problems. Because the boyfriend in question is apparently, let me think here. Because he wants to make it in the entertainment industry, or again, possibly as a host or something like that. The Minosaur in question is not only able to unleash ultrasonic attacks, possibly relating to wanting to sing or something like that, but is also a waterbender. And I am not exaggerating on that. He literally is a waterbender. The Minosaur is a waterbender, which completely neutralizes the effects of Mera which, again, is not exactly a sign of good writing if you go and completely nerf your latest power-up within, like, 1 or 2 episodes of it debuting. Spot on, guys. Spot on. And honestly, there's not really much else to cover here, sadly. Yeah, Cameleo transforms into Ryusoul Gold, and again, as a sign of the bad writing here, the Ryusoulgers try to bypass the Minosaur's waterbending defenses by, basically just throwing everything they have at him and hoping it sticks. But Ryusoul Gold shows up, and he just happens to have an electric Minosaur. He just happens to have an electric power that, conveniently works on the waterbending Minosaur. Woo! And back to Gachilius. Since he saw that this new Minosaur was so successful, he basically told Creon to create 500 more just like it, and basically, I don't want to say this because it sounds gross and lewd, but basically milked her dry of all the Minosaur creation slime to basically rain it down on the city to create hundreds of Minosaurs, and that's not how that works. The Minosaur is specifically tied to the one person that created it. Well, what is this going to do? Just create 100 random Minosaurs, which, would cause a major epidemic, and sounds like something you'd say for like a end of episode plot, or, if you were really smart, a first invasion plot. If you have someone that could create this goop, create Minosaurs for this goop, you distill it, make it like a rain creation machine or something like that, have the goop rain down, and thus turn the entire city into a Minosaur farm. But again, this is not written by the people writing this do not know what they're doing, clearly, so it's just a wasted plot. And because before Creon can even finish the job, he or she or whatever basically just falls over exhausted, because being with Gachirius is just so completely draining for her. That she's just like, happiness, fun. When was the last time I felt those? Yeah, again, basically like anybody who worked at a hell company in Japan, just basically all life and fun and joy just drained out of them just to go and meet the bottom line. Yeah, so basically, Creon's life is now is basically the Korean animation studio gag from the Clerks cartoon. Wakanda, Wakanda, be men with us, make us slaves. Bear's driving, how could that be? So, and yeah, Kamen Leo will not join up with them, with the Ryu soldiers, until he goes and finds himself a wife. And, well, okay, there's obviously some other reasons besides that, so we're going to probably figure out why he's so fixated, why he's so adamant against working with the other Ryu soldiers. Oh, yeah, and speaking, oh yeah, of something else I forgot to mention. Some clues to finding other members of the Ryusoul tribe. Apparently, Kamileo is actually the basis of the well, in their world, is the basis of the legend of Urashima. Yeah, the guy who goes to the Dragon Palace at the bottom of the ocean, comes back, opens up the box, and yeah, you know that. Uh, yeah, basically, if you played Okami, you kind of know what I'm talking about here. Anyways, he's apparently the basis of that. Urashima going down to the Dragon Palace. Yeah, basically, he's the basis of that legend, and according to that, well, Ui's dad was basically trying to say it before Melto constantly kept interrupting him because he's an ass. Yeah, basically, yeah, these myths and legends may be actually based off of members of the Ryusoul tribe. So by investigating the myths, they can track down other lost members of the tribe to potentially gain more power to combat the Druidons and the Minosaurs. But again, Melto is a rude jerk and will not let him get an worded edgewise. He was like, "Yeah, you know what? You're just gonna be ignoring me. Okay, fine, whatever." So yeah. Another week, 2 weeks break, and what exactly has changed? Nothing, nada, zip, zilch. Zi-O still sucks, and Ryusoulger is getting worse is not good. It's not looking too good. But again, the infighting between the Ryusoul tribe and also the main infighting with the Druidons could hopefully lead to something interesting. We've seen that happen before, but I'm not exactly holding my breath here. So, I'll be back on schedule in the next couple of days, hopefully. Toodles.